live from the heart of America. I'm Steve Gruber, ready to deliver an inclusive and diverse discussion of the most important topics of the day, giving you better analysis and insight than anyone else, shining a spotlight on the cockroaches of the swamp and delivering truth and justice just when hope was starting to fade. Here are three big things you need to know to start your day today. Number one, Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders goes trolling for Bud Light by turning out beer koozies for real women, including governors like, well, Kristi Noem, Kay Ivey, and Kim Reynolds, among others. Number two, Joe Biden gives yet another pass to Chinese companies that are not following American law, this time giving a nod to Chinese solar panel companies. I mean, how much evidence before you realize he's bought and paid for? And number three, the cable news world has been turned on its head as one network appears to be trying to self-destruct while another looks desperate to clean up its image and get back on track of doing actual news. The biggest bombshell of the weekend, yes, it was only Monday, but it will ring for a very long time to come. Fox News dumping its number one rated host, the number one rated host in all of cable news, Tucker Carlson, for undisclosed reasons. The backlash has been swift and severe, and in a few days we will see how far the 8 o'clock time slot falls from its position of almost total dominance to maybe irrelevance. There's also word that in addition to Tucker and Dan Bongino, who was dumped last week, that other outspoken voices on the right could soon get shown the exit too, including a longtime king of talk and Fox, Sean Hannity, plus Maria Bartiromo, and others that are not favored by the new generation of Murdochs that are running Fox News. The speculation surrounding Tucker's dismissal from Fox is swirling around the monster settlement last week between Fox and Dominion Voting Systems for an eye-popping $787.5 million. Or was it Carlson's decision to release footage from January 6th that gave a whole different perspective on the events from that day? Or was it him insulting Fox executives that was released during the Dominion disclosures? We don't know. So far, we are only in speculation mode, but I want to share something with you that, and that is Tucker Carlson on Friday night. It seems he knew what was coming. And he knew that changes were on the way, and he knew that he would have to be the Clarion of reason. Look, I do not have a problem pointing to the colleagues that are killing it, and let's be honest, Tucker Carlson has been killing it for a long time. He has. And because he was on Fox, and I mean that in a good way, and because he was on Fox, he had a very big audience, and therefore he was changing minds. Well, that's not acceptable. You cannot have that kind of impact and call out the Russian collusion story as complete crap, question the 2020 election in any way and its integrity or the lack thereof, and make the J6 protesters look like the average Americans they were and not political terrorists without having to pay the bill. Well, this last Friday or before, Tucker was notified that his services would no longer be necessary, and he knew that on his show Friday night. He also knew it when he delivered remarks a short time later about the future we face as Americans, because on Friday night, Tucker spoke to a gathering at the Heritage Foundation, and it really was a foreshadowing of what was coming, and it raises the question, did he know that the powerful elite had already called for his electronic execution? You listen and tell me what you think. Here it is.
The truth is contagious. Lying is, but the truth is as well. And the second you decide to tell the truth about something, you are filled with this, I don't want to get supernatural on you, but you are filled with this power from somewhere else. Try it. Tell the truth about something. You feel it every day. The more you tell the truth, the stronger you become. That's completely real. It's measurable in the way that you feel. And of course, the opposite is also true. The more you lie, the weaker and more terrified you become. We all know that feeling. You lie about something, and all of a sudden you're a prisoner of that lie. You are diminished by it. You are weak and afraid. Drug and alcohol use is the same way. It makes you weak and afraid. But you look around and you see these people, and some of them really have paid a heavy price for telling the truth. And they are cast out of their groups, whatever those groups are, but they do it anyway.
They pay a heavy price for telling the truth, but they do it anyway. When I heard that, I said Tucker knew right there the deal was already done and over. Someday he will tell me I was spot on. I mean, honestly, you cannot listen to that and not understand that the execution order had already been issued. And he'd been offered a last cigarette and his final meal request. The body politic has been in upheaval ever since Donald Trump came down the escalator and they know he was going to clean their clocks. I will give credit where credit is due. Ever since Tucker lost the ridiculous bow tie, he's been moving toward the destruction of the liberal myth that more government is good. Of course, that's clearly not true based on the behavior of the Democrats themselves. I mean, if socialists really believed that more government was the answer, they would never push for defunding the police and all that insanity. After all, the police are the most visible government agents in the largest numbers, yet without explanation, the left says, embrace more government, except those that make the citizens of this country safer. Yes, it is insanity defined. And this insanity is being called out by more than just me. That's for sure. Steve Bannon was among those speaking out on the bombshell report on War Room. Listen.
Tucker Carlson and Fox News have parted ways. The last show of Tucker Carlson tonight was Friday night. So this actually obviously came to a head over the weekend. No announcements from Tucker to date. We're going to try to track down Posobiec and maybe Darren Beatty, some other folks. But Blockbuster News, which I've said, hey, the reason to watch Fox, you got Maria in the morning. You've got Jesse, right? He's getting there, but Tucker's really the reason to watch Fox. With this, I don't know why anybody needs to watch anything on the Murdoch Empire, because Tucker was the mainstay of the populist voice over at Fox, and it's just, this is Blockbuster News. Tucker's announced he's leaving, and not just that, the last show was Friday night. So tonight they're going to replace it with, I don't know, Fox News Tonight or something, but no Tucker Carlson at Fox News. And it looks like no Tucker Carlson at Fox Nation, the streaming service.
Yeah, they're all going to take a pounding. So far, Tucker has been quiet, but good Lord. The internet, as you can imagine, and if you saw it, exploded, and social media went through a near meltdown between those that love Tucker and those that would like him eaten by wolves in a public arena for all to see and celebrate. But what really happens next for a guy rumored to be making about $20 million a year? What happens next? Well, Bill O'Reilly basically vanished. I mean, he sold millions of books and has a daily news something or other, but really he disappeared. And yes, his situation was significantly different, but he was number one when he imploded too. Brian Williams was the main guy at NBC when his world came crashing down. Lion Brian got busted telling stories that just had, well, no relationship to the truth. Why that doesn't stop senile Joe Biden right now is a question you'll have to answer for yourself. And of course, there's the sad tale of Matt Lauer, small-town nobody that became a worldwide superstar until they realized he had an automatic locking door when interns came inside his office. Sorry, but no pun intended there. None of these scenarios have any reflection on Tucker Carlson, so he is not a criminal for pursuing the truth and having the balls to discuss it. I put him on level with just one other person in contemporary America when it comes to commentary. That's Rush Limbaugh. That's where Tucker was close to. That kind of command of information. That means any one of us, me included, could be silenced at any moment. If Tucker Carlson isn't safe, making $20 million and dominating cable news networks, nobody's safe. Nobody. I'll take a break and continue with this after a moment. This is the Steve Gruber Show.